Make it simple. Make it measurable. Man, if you make something simple and measurable in a handful of areas in your life, you're going to be happier. Because the moment you have something to measure, you're then going to understand the strategy that you need to achieve that measurable outcome. And then as you make the progression towards that measurable outcome, woo, that joy comes flowing through. A little thing called quantified joy. Welcome to Build with Rob. It's your boy, Rob Dyrdek. It's out here giving it all we got, continually, perpetually, evolving into our limitless potential, getting better and better in all aspects of life, in every way that we can, when we can. And guess what? The best possible way to do it is in a measurable way. In a measurable way. And, everybody talks about this. I think it's fundamental. It's psychological. It's so much easier when you can just start at the end and land on a number and then do everything that you can to hit that number. Every time you've ever done that in your life, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. Every time you've ever done it in your life, you loved the entire journey. When you made that hot run in the spring because you were going to get that summer body cooking, and you were like, oh, I got to get down to 140, and you're sitting up there at a winter portly 165. Remember that? And you locked in, and you decided that summer body for Lake Havasu this year was going to be 130, and that you had to get to work. And where's it start? Started with that number 130. Where did you start? You started at a portly 165. And what did you do? It informed the strategy. I got to start doing cardio 3 days a week. I got to stop eating pizza and donuts and drinking 5 beers a night. And I've got to stay committed and consistent. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to weigh in each week to give me the number. And what happens, man? The first week is hard. You're shaking I just want some French fries. Oh, man. Oh, everybody's going out tonight. Oh, I don't need to go out tonight. Oh, you're shaking because you just can't even deal with life because your entire system is basically built to keep you fat. You know what I'm saying? Your entire system has built you to stay in that round winter body of yours, but you're going to fight through it. You're going to fight through it because in week 1, you went from 165 to 159 because you basically didn't eat anything because you tried to overshoot the mark in the beginning. But it worked. It worked because you had that measurable number to connect to. And then when you made progress and weigh in and see that number come down, guess what happens? You now generated joy and motivation. Because that's what picking a number to actually measure a better version of your life, when you do that, it creates joy. Don't look at something as simple as what you weigh and setting a goal for, losing weight as something just so arbitrary as this is I'll feel better. It's it's going to bring you joy. When you can put a number to something, that then informs a strategy that that you can implement that can help you achieve a number. Then you begin to make the progress towards actually achieving that number. You are going to feel incredible joy. And you're going to be extra motivated. And then when you hit that number, when you now spent 3 months being fully dedicated because you got into a rhythm, you changed your systems, you changed the way your life was operating, you were focused on the health just so you could get to Lake Havasu for that party body, just to blow that thing out. Blow that thing out in month 1 and watch that thing just drift right back up to 165 by October and then just power it on. Because that's what happens when you try to overcorrect in that state. But along that journey up until hitting that number, when you hit it, boy, are you fulfilled. And that's just the power of what happens when you just try to measure as much as you can as it relates to what will make you happier, what will make your life better. And it's on all of us to make and create, and for me, obviously, a big one for everyone will always be health related metrics. I think body weight, and in my case, body composition, where I do full body composition, where I weigh myself 7 days a week. And then I have weekly averages. And, I joke about, the guy wanting to get to Lake Havasu for the summer body, but that was me. That was me. Okay. That's like, I wasn't going to Lake Havasu, but I was the epitome of the guy who, like, I didn't matter how focused I was or what I was about. I would just, I would always just get as big as I possibly could get at the end of the year, and then try to fight it all the way down to the summer, and then just slowly get big again. You know what I mean? Like that aspect of sort of chasing that number is good and bad, right? Because when you see the number go up, you want to stop weighing yourself until you get focused again. Then you try to play that game, and then you're just depressed. And then, like, finally, you're not fooling yourself anymore when you look in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? No, look, this is when you're not fooling yourself. You're not fooling yourself anymore when you shoot that photo with your friends and they post it, and there you are. There you are. You didn't have a chance to filter it out. You didn't have a chance to find a good one. It's the fat one. It's the fat one. Oh, man, every bit of you come shining through because you had no chance to edit that angle and pick the very best angle of you. You know what I mean? That's the cold, hard reality of the highs and lows. Now, of course, over the years, I have optimized to a point, and I haven't had a drink or any sugar or even a snack for so long that I've eliminated that even from my existence at this point in my life, where I have just literally been like the exact same body composition through traveling, through vacations, through everything. Now, I feel incredible every single day and never have to think about it again. I don't anticipate ever going back to fat to flat Robbie, but I do understand the power of that the number that is just your body composition. And I've collected it for 6-7 years as part of my core data. That makes me proud at this point that I stay in the absolute, like, best shape of my life on an ongoing basis. But I have that because I measured it, and then now I use it more to continually make me feel amazing of how disciplined I am, and that I have stayed there for so long. But health is a really easy one because you have a number like that, then it informs the strategy of, like, I gotta, in my case, like, I'm not gonna drink, and I'm only gonna eat twice a day and intermittent fast every day, and I'm not gonna have snacks like you, I'm not gonna have sugar, I'm not gonna drink alcohol, all these things that contribute to making sure that number is at the highest level, right? And so that's a really easy one from the health perspective. I think when you think about it from a financial perspective, if you can lock into what your life number goal is, just lock into it. Lock into it, even if it's completely unrealistic to you. If you can just lock in and make it measurable. And even if it is, I want to be a millionaire by the time, that you're 65, 75, whatever it may be. Like pick the number and then create the strategy of how you're going to get there. Because if you understand the strategy on how to get to that $1 million mark, and then you begin to look at how much money you're making, and, well, shoot, if I spend a little bit less and invest more and play the 70-20 role where I try to get 7 to 10% and double my money every 7 to 10 years, well, man, I would be able to do that in the next 20 years. And now, the more you save or earn or get a better job or whatever it is, you now are seeing the progress towards achieving what you believe is this amazing, life-changing milestone that would make your life absolutely incredible. But you gotta, man, You got to start. You have to pick that big end number, and then you have to begin to make progress towards it, because then what happens? Oh, it feels so good. And then, man, you get a third of the way there. It's like, man, you feel incredible. And you're that much more motivated. And now you're thinking of new ways to potentially make more, whatever it may be. Like, when you create a measurable, like, clear outcome and begin to make progress towards it, it creates this amazing joy because it's quantified. You know that this is what will be a big deal in your existence, what would be meaningful to you as an individual, and seeing yourself apply the strategy and growing towards it, even if it is slow, is incredibly meaningful. And for me, I do it on to this day on the most like outrageous scale. The most outrageous scale. Like, people say like, hey, are you going to be a billionaire? Like, it's not even a zero question on whether or not I'm going to be a billionaire. It's now just a matter of time. And I have financial modeling for me personally that goes all the way to the year 2050, where I'm 74 years old. Currently, I have financial modeling to the age of 74 that guarantees that, for a fact, when I look at it, super conservative based off of the way that I allocate my assets and the amount of money that I know I will make no matter what over the next 5 years. That's guaranteed. I don't put any fantasy dollars in there. And then I use a really conservative growth rate to see what type of money I got and when I'm going to be a billionaire. And there is no chance that it doesn't happen. Now it is just a matter of like, can I continue on my venture side to look at creating different opportunities that will just scale and accelerate that, which I think that I can in short order. I don't think it will take as many years as I have it currently modeled. But if I stop doing everything right now, it shows me when I'm going to be a billionaire based off of my existing assets. Now, it's extraordinary. And year over year, as you continue to grow and do different deals and invest different dollars and earn different money, the whole thing keeps growing at an accelerated rate. God, it's so exciting. It just motivates me that much further towards pushing towards it and achieving it. But because I designed a strategy, created a marker, and then took the time to go out and actually model it out, it keeps me so motivated, but zero doubt, zero disbelief. It would be virtually impossible, outside of like a complete catastrophic meltdown that included aliens. Okay, aliens would have to be involved. All right. I would have to think, some hardcore global warming to where we can't breathe very well. I think for sure. Lack of oxygen in the atmosphere. Okay. And without a doubt, an asteroid. If we get hit with the trifecta of losing oxygen, an asteroid, and some alien play, then I probably won't do it. Outside of that, I would say it's almost 100% guaranteed. And that's an amazing feeling to have as it relates to a goal. But it is based off of deciding a number, building a strategy, and then creating a strategy, implementing the strategy, getting better at optimizing the strategy, and then growing year over year towards it and just validating that you're going to do it, building the belief, but above all, just makes me happy. Just creates that like pure joy of like, man, this is what I said I was going to do. This is what I did. Boy, does that feel amazing. And it's pushing me towards that bigger goal that I have a vision for. And then when you think about it from a life perspective, right? When you think about like, what is something that I can measure in life? It's like, I love hiking. So I want to go, hike these 10 mountains this year. Okay. Like the goal is to do 10 big hikes this year. So what does it do? You got the 10 hikes you're going to do, and now it informs the entire strategy. It informs the entire strategy. Okay, I got to do them once a month. Now I've got to design like when I'm going to do them in between the holidays, and then you plan out in the year when it's going to be. And then now it's a matter of doing one at a time. And then it's like, now you understand, this is the average climb time. I'm going to try to do it in 4 hours. Then you measure like how you're going to do it. You have this beautiful matrix for the year because you're a super like climber guy who wants to find all these mountains, and understands and challenge themselves to get to the top of these mountains in an efficient time. Look at the matrix of numbers that you have to go challenge yourself in enjoying your life that is going to get you so excited and motivated. And when you show up at the first one and beat the time and can't wait to get to the next one, it's like, each of these things are just examples of just putting different measurable outcomes to your existence and then making progress towards them and doing them. It is that progression towards clear, quantifiable outcomes that creates the joy. In this quantified joy where you just know that as you're progressing towards a meaningful number that you've created for yourself, it is going to motivate you, fulfill you, give you purpose, give you clarity, all of these things that produce that feeling of happiness and joy. And then if you now begin to look at, okay, what are all of the places that I can do that in my life? That is basically how I have approached life completely, where I have so many different things that I measure that all together make up this incredible, quantified dashboard of life that I have, and not one of them isn't fun and exciting. And as you see them grow or evolve or not, it still is amazing to have something measurable and clear that you're looking at all these different aspects of your life on an ongoing basis. And obviously it dumps into like my deeper data as it relates to my qualitative data, and then my sleep scores, and then all my discipline data, all these things that I put together that make up my quality of life, that then gets tied to financial metrics, and then this show's metrics, and then efficiencies and shooting and the metrics associated with the content. Like all these numbers and all these things together make up this sort of clear goals and markers and numbers that I'm optimizing all parts of my life into, that are quantifying my overall happiness and joy in all aspects of life. And I just think, a lot of times, we get so used to just, pushing out and doing things without having some sort of measurable purpose into it. And I think in a lot of times it's okay. I think a lot of times in life, when you're figuring things out, or you're sort of allowing something to unfold and reveal itself to you, that you can be way more fluid. But the moment you truly understand what it is you're trying to achieve, you've got to try to put a number to it. You have got to try to put a number that you are trying to reach, so that you can continually optimize into growing and hitting that number. Because not only growing and evolving there is going to be giving you motivation and energy and excitement, but then the fulfillment of, predicting the future and doing what you say you're going to do is quantified by an actual number. And it's an amazing way to live, and it's very, very fulfilling, because there's no gray area. It is just pure joy when you set a big goal that's clear and defined in a quantitative manner, and then you go and do it. That is really where an anchor of happiness can exist in your whole life, And that's what we're about. You know what I mean? We're just trying to continually create ways to optimize our existence, get better and better in every single thing we do in all parts of our life. And measuring it is a really, really great way to do it. But of course, the biggest thing you gotta have is a vision for your whole life. And you got to put together the strategy for that life even to come alive. And then you have to be willing to give it all you got until you get there. Until next time, see it, believe it, do it.